Welcome, everyone. I will be having my co-host soon. We just finished one interaction to another, so it's getting on it. So nice having everyone here. Today we will be talking about nurturing your soul and higher being. My name is Clementina Godwin. I'm a coach and also a project manager, and I run a business called company called Account Management Consulting. I deal with having assignments within project management, and I also deal with leadership coaching with a focus on personal development and also self leadership. I'm having today a host with me called Michael. Mike will be on this show soon. We try to connect him because it's like it's missing somewhere. Let me catch you up, Mark. We just had one section about trying to know how the tech works because we're having a little bit kind of technical difficulties today, and there was some decisions that have to make quick ones to make this works as soon as possible, which was really super duper working well. So Mark is kind of a little bit outside and is still looking for the Zoom link. Saint, if you are still missing the Zoom link is at the event itself. And please click on that link. You'll be able to join us, or you can also join us live. And otherwise, I can post it, which I think is on the, yes, there it comes. Now you're going to laugh, Mark. Today I've been able to. Mark, are you there? And now you can hear me. Guess what? Today you're gonna laugh because I don't know if I'm gonna call Mark, Mike. I keep on just calling you both names. How are you doing?
Right, Mike is doing really, really well, but Mark, yeah, he's fine as well.
Oh my god, I don't even know how to go around
Listen,
it.
listen, if you want me to be Mike, that's fine.
No, oh, come on
Just for
there.
this conference.
All right, that's funny. Good to see you again. And
Mm,
I was just a little bit trying to introduce myself and what I do and why I was waiting for you. So I think
yep.
you can go and please present yourself and tell the audience what you're doing.
Okay.
And
Right. Well, my name is Mark, and I am a French and Spanish teacher by trade. I've done 32 years of teaching. Um, both living in France, in Spain, but mostly in Britain. And just recently, I have taken a course to become a life coach. So I am now trained in coaching, timeline, hypnotherapy. And I found to my joy that on the course, one, it was full of fantastic people, um, 50 people, including yourself, Clementina. But what I found was the goodwill that was generated from that group was fantastic. And I also found the things that we learned with Ralph um, are very much what I've done all my life in teaching. So all the skills that when we talk to people and get them on board and encourage them, it's just what I do normally day to day. So that was really empowering. That was really encouraging, actually. So there you go. This is me. And I now spend most of my days sat behind a computer on my bottom, rather than going out and doing some exercise like I should do a bit more of. There we go. That's me.
nice
Hello.
having you here. So I want to spend the time to also present myself correctly again. My
Um,
name is Clementina Godwin. I'm the owner and founder of Account Management Consulting. As a profession, I'm a project manager. I work within projects, and it could be from agile to implementing lean process, and I also deal with business analysis, development, But recently, I decided to incorporate something into my business, which was coaching, because I've been doing coaching like since I was ever 15. I discovered that, and I love helping people. That's another thing. My passion, my drive, my empathy for people is to see that they be able to find a solution from their problems, and I'm being part of them to help them. And I started this journey since I was 15 without even knowing about. In 2008, I helped a lot of empowering women, single mothers, trying to help them in their problems, support them all the way through. Anyway. So now I said there was one thing my soul has been calling for me to do, and that's helping other people, having that sympathy, empathy, support to give to other people, that I'm capable of doing it. So I certified myself internationally, and I went for 8 days intensive course to get my certification internationally, because I want to go I want to go international. And like Mark Dale mentioned, it was really a blowing mind experience to see 50 people who just want to contribute to this world to bring a to be a better place by helping people in different roles of their business. So, and that brings me to this point of incorporating myself, my business, as having this passion of creating, developing, executing, and facilitating, that I want to incorporate it into coaching. And what I love doing, and I've seen myself doing for people, not only for clients, is being able to take them to that end goal, transformation, total transformation, and also empowering them, bringing them to a place of know-how and standing their ground to know, yes, this is me. I matter. My voice matters. My emotion matters. It is okay to love myself. It is okay to say no. It is okay to move away from unhealthy relationships. And that has been my motion for creating sustainability, human sustainability,
Yep.
not just existing, but also being.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Mm,
In the past, you did all this.
yes.
Since you've been on this course, what new skills have you learned that's going to help you get even better?
Thank you for the question. Well, I learned that we're different. Much. We work in different states, and what I learned was to be able to be more of my unique way of doing things. The important thing is how I solve the problem for the clients, how that generates to something significant in their life, because that's where my happiness come from. And what I learned was that you will be recognized for what you do, not just your role. We have a kind of model we call SCAF method, and that's where you have the status, you have the census, you have the fairness, you have the relationship, and all that confirmation, validations that we want for ourselves in our role of working. But I incorporated this in what can I do from now, or what can I help a client to the next level where they want to go.
Okay.
And that's something I learned, to be authentic of myself, to be me, to continue to be me regardless wherever it is. Because education gives us a new perspective of seeing our life, but it doesn't change who we are. You can change the way we say things. So I learned to continue to be myself. And I also learned that.
But that's the difference. I know we've had this conversation many times before where you would only you would look to other people for them to say something good about you. You wouldn't feel that good in yourself. And the reason why that resonates for me is because I was that same person. I was the people pleaser, the one that goes, "Oh, do you want this? I'll do this as well." And then people just expect you to do more and more and more. And when you get to the point where you go, "Do you know what? I will do this. If you want to give me 5 jobs to do, tell me the 3 that you want me to do, because I'm not doing those 2. I will do these 3 to the best of my ability, and you take care of yourself." And it's only now, because I'm very, very old, that I've realised that, you know what? people don't respect you
Yeah.
until you say no.
Yes.
That's a magic word, and it took me a long time to learn that.
All right. So today we'll be talking. If you don't want to bring to the topic why we're here today, I invited you to join me today because after talking to you a couple of times, break room sections and private sections, and even in your own journey, and have been able to reflect upon my own journey with you and working in different areas. And I found all kind of beauty in your story, and also the enormous work you've done for children, especially young teenagers. And I felt like, yeah, this would be the right moment because it's all about self improvement, self empowerment, personal development, even if you do it in a different way. And the topic today we'll be talking about is nurturing your soul and your physical being. And in my first intro today, I was, so what does that mean? You know, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for the audience here? And what is she talking about? Yeah.
Right.
So, I want to introduce the idea of having this. Um, People have actually invited you to join the room, so it's like, is it not open for people to join?
You might
uh,
have to press when people ask to join. You press and let them join.
uh, well,
I believe.
is asking me they were supposed to be able to join, but don't want me to join. Probably I don't know how this works. He wants us to join through Messenger and to be able to access what we're talking. Anyway, sorry for that. People need to join because they didn't look at the Zoom.
The link.
So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of not bringing them to the right place. So I'm going to tell them here to join. Check the Zoom link here.
In your last
So
message.
today we'll be talking about being, nurturing your soul. Nurturing your soul is about you being on a place of taking a step backward after doing your responsibility. And so having that moment, haha moments, okay, what about me? What have I done for myself? Probably this week or today. Just having that moments of spending, giving yourself that time to reflect upon what you've been able to do for yourself.
Yes.
And
I
in
agree. But I
in
also think it depends on what you do. You and I both do a job which we know we make an impact on other people's lives.
That's correct.
And when I wake up in the morning, I love the fact that I'm going to school, I'm going to see all these kids, I'm going to teach them French and Spanish, I'm going to give them powers where they suddenly start believing in themselves. And to me, that is like when you call it a heart journey, well, that for me is the most important thing. Because when I come back, rather than working 9 to 5 in an office and hating every moment, and then coming back and trying to think of good things that are happening in my life, I actually go, and when I get the reaction that I get from the kids, which is they suddenly start understanding things, and they go, "Oh, right." That to me, that's wonderful. That makes a massive difference. So when you're actually doing what you love, that to me is really important when you're talking about your soul, you're talking about your physical well-being. If you do something every day that you go, "Do you know what? I love this. This is great." That
And
to me is really important.
so what I was bring today is how to bring some sense of value today
Hmm.
is to it's tell and discuss with people to bring that awareness that it is all right, regardless your role in the society, your what you do for living, your workspace, your responsibility as a parent, or your responsibility for your family. You can't offer love, support, or being expendable when your cup is empty.
There you go. Hmm.
So it is all right to take a step back to have that moment, even if it's 30 minutes. You know what? I've done this today, I've done this today, I've done this to me, all the timeline, wherever it is, but taking a step back, well, I want to nurture me. And that might be for self-reflection about where are you lacking, or where do you want to go? What are your goals in life? Or it might be anything for you. Because we are different, we tolerate stress differently. We are in a different relationship, we have different needs to our relationship, and that is where the boundaries between what makes me exist and what am I doing in my practical life isn't in line with what my soul, when you talk about the soul, we're talking about your inner self, your highest power, that little voice that speaks to you every day, that thought and thinking that tells you it's all right, Mark, it's all right, Clementina. Oh no, I don't feel like this. Having that moment, even to just stand for a moment, if it takes, to breathing, to have between 10 to 20, 30 minutes to have a reflection for yourself. Am I in the right place? It doesn't mean that you're doubting yourself, but it is more that you know that you need to have that moment for yourself. People are still asking for the Zoom link,
Right.
and the Zoom link is on the post. I thought I posted it this
It's the
morning.
one where you introduced today. That's where it
Yeah,
is.
it is where it is today. Please, I think I need to just update again. Let's join the link. People probably could not say because that updation came. Let me see. It was here. It is here. I could just also put it today again. That they could just
Can
join.
you
Still
copy
the
and
same.
paste that into your chat?
Yeah, I should copy it and paste it into the chat so that people could join. Probably. I could just do on both. So please join this line. Susan, today we are live now. That I could say. I just have to please just update this so you can keep on the talk. Can you please tell the audience a little bit about how you were able to help this, for example, those kids you were able to help into that transformation? While I try to respond to the audience here.
Oh, you okay? Yeah. Well, that's only because you want to see my toys again, isn't it?
No, really, but I think it might
No,
bring
but
some
you know
kind
what?
of sense when we're talking about
When people talk about
nurturing
niche,
yourself.
right?
Mhm.
This is what I've done for 30 years, 32 years successfully, right? And I'm known for this. So whenever kids see me now, I've been teaching. I was head of Spanish at the school here where I live for 25 years. Many kids who are now my friends on Facebook, I meet in town, and they still go, "Oh, do you still throw your toys around?" And I go, "Yeah, of course I do." So, for example, here you go. Here's one. This is what I throw around. Um, this one flies really well around the classroom as a star, but this one's good. So what you do is you throw. And my tagline in a class, and you see the boys especially love this. My tagline is, "This is the only place in school where you can throw something at a teacher and get away with it." And they go, "Yes." So I throw this at them. They catch it. They answer a question in French or Spanish. Okay. Once they've done that, I say, "That was fantastic. Pass it to someone else. You're deciding who gets to do it next." And the kid will normally choose their friend won't let them down, so then you get continuity. And then you change the dynamics and you go, right, boys throw to girls, or side A of the class throw to side B, and you play all the vocab they need to learn that day. We will do in a stupid and fun way, and it goes in. And the one thing that I remember was I've always chosen to teach the more challenging children, because as head of Spanish, if I was a horrible boss, I would go, "I'm going to take the best kids and you can just manage." No, I take the kids who are challenging, who would have come to me anyway. I keep them, I make sure they make progress and give all the rest of them to everyone else and say, get the results they should get. Now, I remember there's one kid, and he was sat at the back of the class called Jack. And Jack really was unhappy. He made the wrong choices. He always got into trouble at school and home and with the police. And what he did, he did really well at Spanish with me. And every time he did well, he got a stamp. He got one of these stamps. There you go, in his book, so he could see progress. And once he got 10 of those, one of these went home, and that was what we sent. And on the back of it, we sent the reasons why they were getting this. And this kid was grounded every single day. Honestly, he was in real bother. And as soon as he got one of these, he went home, put it on the fridge, and he came in on Monday and he goes, "Sir, sir," because he spoke a bit like this, "Sir," right? And yeah. He goes, "Do you remember that certificate you gave me?" I said, "I didn't give you it. You earned it." And he's going like, yeah, but it went on the fridge, right? And my mum and dad read it, and then they let me out to play with my mates. I haven't done that for weeks. And I went, "Excellent." And he goes, "No, even better. The Sunday, my grandmother came along, read it, and gave me £5 money." At which point
So
the rest of the lads went, "What?" And you
what
could
was
see the,
that?
the
What
whole
was that
atmosphere changed.
story that you took those boys, the one with the wheelchair, to the championship?
No, that was different. That was when I first started teaching in Manchester. I was they didn't need a Spanish. They weren't teaching Spanish in the school. It was French. So I did French and sports, French and PE. Okay. And in Manchester at the time, there was a disabled group of amputee football players. Okay. They all had one leg, be it through industrial accident, be it through being soldiers and they stepped on a landmine, be it through cancer. They all had one leg and they played on crutches. Okay. And these people, they wanted someone to train them, and they asked the head of PE in my school, and he said, "Look, I can't. I've got a small family, but I know someone who could." So me and him went to Manchester City's, in the old days, football grounds, AstroTurf, and we saw them play, and we were amazed. I became their coach. They then became the England amputee football team, and we went to America and we won the World Cup twice. Right, so that was back in the day. But the difference, I mean, I've got some nod on. I might have some photos here. Oh no, did I clear them out? I
Go
think I cleared them
ahead.
out. I, we, this was a long time ago. This was about 30 years ago, when I was first starting out. So I had hair and everything. Um, but it was fantastic because when we came back, we went to every single football ground in England. So we went to Wembley. We saw Liverpool playing against Arsenal. We went onto the pitch and 90,000 people chanting "Champions," and I was holding up the cup. We did our routines. It was wonderful. So that's where I first started coaching. When you talk about coaching, that's where I thought, you know what? Wow, I can make that difference. And it was just like an extension of teaching at the time.
And how did that make you feel when you were being part of that journey to bring people to a new state? How did that make you feel?
Do you know what? The difference was you saw someone that there's one guy called Steve, and Steve was a lovely lad, and he'd had an industrial accident. He was a glazier, so he fitted glass, and then the glass dropped and on his leg, and so he spent many months in hospital. And he came out and he loved football, but then he realised he could still play football with us. So it took a bit of time for him to get used to it, but the progress he made was incredible. He became our striker, who's an excellent footballer, very good striker. And he was interviewed by BBC. They came along to see us. And I remember the pride in his voice of saying, "I never thought I would ever play for England. I am so happy. And you could see him making strides every single session where he got more and more confident in himself. And all the drills that we used to do, I made them do and all the rest of it. A lot of it was to do with balance. So we'd throw the crutches away, stand on one leg, and do these arm curls to make that stronger. So then, I mean, I used to play with them. I used to kick one shoe off, put one stocking foot in the air. I played better on crutches than I do normally with them. But no, it was lovely. It was fantastic.
And that was what I thought was the beauty of.
Clementina, do you need to connect these people?
Yeah, I did already. I did, and I also post on the main link, and I also give them even on my private. I've already connected them.
They
It's
have,
just
but they're not visible.
you can unmute yourself, and so we can have. They are going to have a Q&A section, and they'll be able to discuss and ask questions, open questions. So what we were talking more about, like I was explaining before, about what is nurturing your soul and what that means for people and what that means for me. It might be different for people. I explained earlier that it's about you taking that moment. It might be 15 minutes for you, 30 minutes for you to have a reflection about yourself. And it can be from you where you want to go, having a reflection. Are you in the right track with yourself?
But you do this really well. I've only just started doing it, but the journaling, that journal thing that you do.
Yeah, it's what I'm gonna give tips on what to do, because like I said in my intro, today we want to talk about not just about me but about the people. People have to like be able to have open questions, since our journey can be different. And we live in a world of forced change today, and what the world need most today is being empathic, being there to be able to stretch a hand for another, to say, I am here for you. And I told you that I was discussing with you earlier when you said you want to help somebody. It's not just, oh, I help somebody, but you helping them from where they are to a transition from where they want to go, and also being able, probably you might not be able to help them in all way, but being to make that significant transition, or you're capable being able to follow them all the way, where I come as of expertise of coaching, and you being a coach in your own life, and to help them to come to that total transformation. Some people are capable to go inward to deal with themselves, and that 10 minutes, it might be just a click of awakening for them to understand that, well, listen, I've done that, I've been there, I've been doing this, but what have I been doing for myself? I deserve all that love that I give. It might be an unhealthy relationship, for example. It might be connections that does no longer work. It might be a place of work that no longer serves me. So, and those are the things that when I talk about nurturing yourself, it is okay to take a step backward and reflect on what you've been doing or where you are today, and say, now, what's your soul telling you? Your soul is your inner voice. What is it telling you? How do you feel, and where do you want to go? And this is a kind of awakening, being connected from to your higher self. And we do have 4 areas, because technology, science bring us to a broad, was a massive information. But when we talk about who are you and who do you want to be, who is that your voice, your inner, your natural being? And that can come from a place of, am I in the right space, aligned with my psychological well-being? Do I have the emotional stability? Do I have this physical stability as well? From the mental space, from the heart space, and also your higher being, you being you, and what you want to do. Some people, the passion might be something, maybe helping people, maybe building a car, just having that moment you exist.
Okay. Question we were talking about before earlier today was that you, on a scale of 1 to 10, you operate around about 9 or 10 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep. Yeah, that's
and then
great.
On Friday, Saturday, you relax a bit more, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so during those days, Monday, Tuesday, when you are on full power, how do you relax? How do you take time for yourself?
I started with having my Mondays in a structure. When I have my Mondays to like having like kind of clarity, okay, these are my due list, and this is a must list. but then I have to prioritize what is the most vital on that list. And when I get the most priority instead of flexibility in my schedule, I make sure that at the end of Thursday, which is Thursday always used to be very full blown for me, that I get things done. On Friday, it's my mindset is telling me, you know what, it's time to do you, me, me.
Yes.
And I start like cutting down around 3 and knowing that every other thing is not a must. I deprogram every other patterns that I have been operating on in my past. And that's why I'm saying I keep on mantling there is no quick fix if I am not talking to myself, aligning with my soul to know, okay, Clementina, you've done this, but it's time for you to take care of you.
How do you know when you have done too much? How do you
Okay,
know when you're burnout?
yeah, it's a good question because actually, like I said, my journey didn't start today. I walk from a very, very dark, really weak space back in a couple of years ago. And most significantly, so many people could recognize me, it's far back from 2014. And walking out of that, it was a deep learning curve for me. Learning to know that I deserve the love that I give out. I deserve it for myself. I deserve the energy that I pour out there to pour in myself, which means invest in myself. But I was unable to do all that until 2018. And the 2018 started with me not expecting validations of others, but my own validation. How do I see me? Who am I? Why do I exist? Those were the learning steps that I learned to know now today, according to your question, shutting down, knowing where I cut put the boundaries. My body tells me enough. And you could start with me realizing I'm tired, or the first signal normally I get is me getting a little bit stressed, which is something I don't want, and I just say no. So what do? I lay a structure, a principle to know that. For example, if you always notice when I want to talk with you, it's about scheduling, right? You remember?
Jag håller på att lyssna på
what's time.
Diskussionsforum.
The time is important because I know time is value. It's value for so many people. It's money, it's the resources that I can get back, you can get back. So when you prioritize and have a definition and meaning to your daily activities and your well-being, you will prioritize what is important for you and what is the thing you are creating for others.
Okay. What exercise do you do?
One of my exercises, if I'm not so good in listening to this meditation, what I do, the first thing that I do to sort out my thinking, to listen to my intuition when it comes to my soul, is journaling. And when I journal, things might open up for me, and I think that comes from my spiritual connection as well. So where I see some messages or some things that I've been thinking, like in my thought process, that I have not been able to apply in my practical life. So I start with meditation. Meditation could be for other people something else, but for me, it's lying down, like I said, cutting off, having that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for myself, and I lay back and reflect.
Okay. And what about physical exercise?
Physical exercise is something is good as well. If you want to take a walk like me, I'm not good like going to the gym. Even if as much I want to do it, but I won't teach what I haven't been able to do. But I will recommend is something to do, but I haven't been able to do it. One of the reasons is COVID, and the other is I worked so much last year that I didn't even have time to. I paid, but I never did. But the best thing is to take a walk.
Okay.
Take a walk. It also gives you self-talk, because it's how we talk to ourselves. There are negative self-talk. There are also good self-talk. But it's good to take a walk to have the physical. I think it helps a lot of people. It helps me. But I love sauna. Sauna is also good.
Yes, it is.
So, but the key thing is every external thing only had value. But the thing that had value most is you. And I also do a lot of salt bath when we talk about energy. Energy is the energy what we produce, what we connect, what we attract. It can be a relationship, it can be a place, it can be a workplace. And mostly those energy comes into us and affects our psychological well-being, and it goes down to our emotions where we program all these informations and embody them. So that's why it's important also we need to learn to release energies. And an energy could be a card. This codependency, all right, for example, so dependent on talking to you, getting connected with you all the time, but maybe we don't operate from our higher self, because a good healthy relationship we need to be independently being in our own space. It is okay to be you, and if you don't recognize that, like I said, you don't have that self-love for yourself, knowing that you are enough. You're not perfect. I'm not expecting it from
How
anybody.
do you know? I am.
No, nobody does, because it's a continuous improvement. Nobody does. And where I teach every day, I teach people for coach them into much of a self-leadership, because when you grow from that empowerment, you can come into a place of strong decisions about yourself, having that strong validation. And that's the base of your existence, because nobody will tell you who you are anymore, because you've been able to do the healing within yourself, knowing what is love for yourself, and being able to provide love for other people, be able to help other people in an independent way by, you know, doing it from an art space of unconditional love without getting even attached. And that space, you will recognize what is healthy for you and what is not healthy for you.
Yes.
So there are 4 things I want to teach today, to talk about, and that is your emotional stability, your physical stability, your psychological stability, and also your soul. That is your spiritual stability, because everyone has a soul. And recognizing what I mean, so I keep on emphasizing it nowadays, we are a beautiful spiritual being having a human evolution here. And we don't recognize where that falls into place is a different thing, which means listening to your intuition, align with yourself, because we all have capabilities. So I really want people to journal something in their life. Where are you today? What is one thing you do for yourself? You probably might not be able to start doing it every day, but at least once in a week. But I would recommend, because when you grow into that point, you will know that it's good to know at the end of the day, what did I do for myself? Even if for like 1 or 2 days. But you need to start somewhere.
You only need to do something 21 days before it becomes a new habit.
Yes.
So if you do that one thing, and one thing I tried to do, I used to be a runner. I used to run long distance. And for example, 7 miles was nothing. Half marathons, fine. Yeah, lovely. And then I had arthritis in my knees, so I couldn't run. So I went cycling instead. I've always done lots and lots of sports. I love sports. It's my father that said to me and my brother, said, get a sport. Just because then your healthy mind and healthy body work in tandem. So my brother chose judo and I chose squash at the time. And then I also did running. Then I also did football. Then I also did tennis and badminton. And I was greedy. I just wanted to do every sport. My brother just kept doing judo. But yeah, sport's really important for your well-being, just to keep you sane.
What would be your starting point during the course of the 8 days? What was that transformation that happens in your life? You and I we spoke about when you were going through your own tries during the last months. And what was that thing that brings you into a place of peace with yourself? Um, we've spoken a couple of times, and we've been here when we've had moments. And what was that thing? Would you like to share? What was the thing you were able to move away from so many sections we've had to you looking forward, seeing the light in the tunnel? Is there something you'd like to share, Cody?
Yes, I can do very easily. It's COVID is the answer. Seriously, it's COVID, because when I'm at work, I'm out the house, and my wife would be in the house. She would do the things that she needs to do, and I would then come back at the end of the day, and we would see each other for 4 hours, and lovely. That was our life. When COVID happened, we were both in the same house, and we realised that we didn't have much in common anymore. Our children have grown up and left. My wife has a dog, and she cares more for the dog than she did for me. And sadly, we've divorced. Okay, she's moving out, and we're selling the house just to raise money. All these things were happening at the same time as me doing the coaching course, and me realizing that all the skills that I have in teaching over the years are very much what I need for coaching. So what I started to do was to coach myself into how I can get, basically I did a timeline where I am now, where I want to be, and then looking back from the future thinking, what do I need to do to get to that stage? So I've started very slowly on that journey, but I know where it is. I can see it ahead. It's just
From
I'm very impatient. I want it yesterday.
No, I believe you've done. If you need to hand it as well, just like you said to me. You've done a tremendous change from.
But you've seen the difference, because
Yes.
when we started talking to now,
Yeah.
you have seen the difference.
Oh yeah, a lot of it. And I was telling you you're gonna get here, and you were like, but I said, if you put on a goal, you're gonna. And I could see, so that I don't feel like saying anything, but I could see the step forward. Like, okay, yeah, he's getting there, and you are. And what would you like to tell the audience, passing that your experience from not knowing to getting your tools together, incorporating your resources, and then getting to the next level? Is there anything you would like to encourage the audience in their own journey to bring a meaningful, maybe some, sense of purpose for them, a kind of hope message for them?
Okay. The funniest thing I found was during the course, one of the people that we had to speak to pass the course wanted relationship advice from me on the day that my wife left. And I just burst out laughing. And I had to share, but I said, I'm the worst person at the moment to speak to. I can tell you what not to do. But anyway, so that what I've learned now is to trust the resources that you have. Because a lot of people, I have two offices now. I have this one because it's got better light for Zoom, and I've got my other office which is down the way. Now, in my other office, right on top, it has loads and loads and loads and loads of self-help books. Loads. I've collected them over the years. And I remember one particular time, my son, who was about 18 at the time, came in and he goes, "That's a lot of books, isn't it, Dad?" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "You would have thought one of them would have worked by now." And then he turned around and walked out. It was like one of those mic drop moments. I just thought, "Oh, what?" But there's a lot of things that now I realise I've had those resources all this time. I've never really opened it and probably done something solid with it. I've read it and gone, yep, but I've never actually done something. I know the answers. The answers are all in me. I know that now. And it's doing this course, it's kind of released that and thinking, do you know what? I knew that. I've read that before. But I've never actually physically acted on it until now. That's the difference. So you can read all the books you like, but if you don't actually do something about it, you're just stuck where you are.
Now, and I agree with you on that point. Like I also guide and support my clients. I tell them one thing: I can help you, yes, but what happens when I'm gone?
Mm.
If you are not ready to work with me and be committed to the things that I wanted you to do, how can you be able to really empower yourself? And one of the principal rules, maybe something you remember that I always tell you, I don't work with people who are not ready to work with themselves. If you remember that, that was my grand rule. You remember?
I do.
Remember the first time you booked an Howard what do you call discovery section, where I said something, and I tell a lot of people like that, and they were like, I said, bring 3 things you want to change. And for me, because for me, I believe that a change can occur like this if the determination is incorporated.
Yes.
And I think, just like you said, take your resources. I've helped clients, for example, they come to me, they talk about their niche, or they talk about they have one problem or another in terms of, taking that step of a decision. And I ask them, what's stopping you? Okay, identifying the problem and being able to say, okay, what would you want? Where do you want to go? Because I want to see more of about I want, I will. And that's my encouragement for people. When you find your willpower and what you want, because there's a difference in what we want and what we need to separate, to be able to discuss it and to be able to separate it and measure to know how best I can help you, or they can help themselves. And you might read a lot of books, like so much information today in the internet, books, but it just information goes in, information goes out. But when you center and ground yourself, grounding, that's another thing I want to talk about today. Ground yourself. Ground yourself means having that sense, being aligned and taking responsibility for your own doing, responsibility to know that my actions hurts other people, responsibility knowing that I alone is the only one that can give me that authentic love, respect, and dignity, which reflects on my integrity, what I produce out there, which means what? Being in relationship with yourself. You might argue, I know you've asked me, what was the general question you often ask me when I have a section with you, or I've said, you ask me if I am happy. I will say yes, because the emotional, so much emotional stability, so much work I've worked in myself. Today, nobody can come and tell me that, Clementina, you are this. I've told you that. No, 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 no. I know who I am. And it's a continuous improvement. Having that commitment, gratitude of having a second chance, a second try to improve to the next level. It's full commitment. You need to work on it. You need to invest on it.
How do you know when you got there?
Of course, you will know, because that's you can't do so many things at a time. You need to measure. That's why I talk about measuring. Where am I today? Where do I want to go? Am I living the life that I want?
The one thing I've appreciated from us speaking, from me speaking with other coaches, is that accountability. That bit that says, okay, if we're going to agree these things by next Monday,
Yeah.
and when you do that, you suddenly go, oh, right, I've got to do this now. And
Was that hard on you?
But you don't want to let people down.
Yes.
So I remember there's one thing that I was in a breakout room with Lakshmira, and she was coaching me on how to sleep better. And that night, I mean, normally I sleep about 6 hours on average. And that night, I did everything that we'd agreed I would do. And I slept the best night's sleep I've had for years.
Yes.
I told her the next day, and she was so happy that she'd made that difference. But it was accountability. It was, I don't want to let this person down because they've helped me. So yeah.
Yeah, but what would be I can't, for example, Swedish folks are more into we have a kind of conservative way of living, and sometimes people don't like to ask for help. Just like I told you, I'm not so good in like asking people for help. But at the same time, we need to recognize that people are different from saying, okay, listen, I have this, I need help, or maybe asking her, which would have been an advantage to take them to help them to the next level, as long as they are willing to want to create a change, want to implement change in their situation. They need just a helping hand to move forward, and which is, people struggle with that. It has to come from a very, very critical space before people even recognize they need help, by asking maybe a professional to help them, or good friends. I would say another tips today: surround yourself with people who have the ability to express unconditional love. People there's an equal give and take. Because another thing about, when I talk a lot about energy, it's another kind of healing process in the whole coaching thing I do, which I really, really don't want to incorporate in my business life. But somehow I deal with people. I need to deal with their energy. It's about energy as well. It's balancing the scale. Too much of this could unbalance the scale.
Yeah.
So knowing where you balance the scale, being accountable, like, okay, when are you going to do it? Like, I remember I told you, when you want to do the SWOT analysis, you have to do it, and then you need to get back to me and tell me that you've done it. I know that doing that will push you to the next level, like Bushmira did for you, but also give you a new, when you're doing it, it enables you as well to know, okay, I have the skills. I've just been careless about this. It empower you in another way, and it process your thinking in another way. But if I sit down to help you to do everything, then it would have been, you just like, okay, no, I don't know where this is. But holding each other accountable, why is that? Making you to understand that your hour you spend with me, it's valuable. Your money is valuable. My time is valuable, because at the end of the day, what was I able to provide for you, and what was the change I helped you to create? And that's why I say, not even in the coach area, but every human being can make that change in their life by self-awareness, self-development, taking accountable for everything you do. Reflect, move back, and say, well, I've not been able to use, what kind of relationship am I happy in my relationship? What am I doing wrong? Have those difficult conversations with yourself, and have it with your partner before he goes the other half zone. I used to tell people, and you also have the right to walk away from unhealthy relationship. Unhealthy relationship doesn't have to be with our partners. It can be co-worker. You can be a place you are addicted to that does not bring you, or a patterns, a behavior, a belief that does not takes you to the next level. And that we've been talking. It's been like almost an hour. I want to open for people to ask questions. You can unmute yourself if you want to ask questions, so we will be able to answer your questions. So if anyone wants to ask questions, you're free to ask questions. Hello. I can't hear. They either cannot. Let me see. Yeah, they can speak. They can speak. Rudy, and I don't know how the other device. You can ask questions. You can put even chats so we can answer you. If you have a question for Mark, you can ask questions. We can also, because today we can have open questions and answer. You can ask your questions if you have anything to ask. So there's possibility to have, and they're not being able to unmute. But yeah, they can unmute. Yeah, okay. I guess so. So now when we talk about we want to talk about more about personal development. What is the voice you would like to leave with the audience? Is there anything you would like to share?
About personal development.
Yeah.
It's something you learn over time, is the honest truth. I don't know any people that I work with in their 20s and 30s that have that awareness. For me, I've always found that awareness starts when you're in your 40s somewhere, which is no help to anyone who's 20 listening to this thinking, what? But that's my journey. So I was much more aware of what I needed to do, how I needed to impact people, the skills I needed to do that. I was much more aware of that later on in life. But like I said to you before in another conversation, that magic word, I didn't know how to do it. It made me very physically and mentally ill, just taking more and more work on because I thought that's what people wanted and needed, and not being able to go, no, not happening, no. That to me, that was the biggest moment, the biggest reveal where I go, no, I'm not going to do that. If this is important to you, I will do that one. You get someone else to help, or you wait, and I will get those done, but I won't be doing it in the timescale you want, where you sit back and I do all this work. No, that's it.
Well, personal development.
The work-life balance. So I've
sir.
never, in my career, the highest I've gone is head of Spanish, which is a middle management role. Deliberately so. I could have done much more, but that would have meant me taking myself out of the classroom and sat behind the desk doing admin, which I don't like. I like speaking to children. I like making a difference. I like seeing the progress from them when I take them in September and take them through to July. I love to see how they've changed, how they've become more confident in their own abilities. That to me, that's really important. And that's what I wake up thinking I can make a difference today. Well, there you go.
I incorporate. Thank you for that. When we talk about personal development, I also see personal growth, inner growth. We talk about much of a growth in general, and that is because I know who I am 5 years ago now, and not even 3 years ago. And this is shocking for so many people, and also a proof for so many people that people can. We all are able.
Yes. Have you met anyone from 5 years ago, from 7 years ago, who used to know you?
Yes.
Now, and do they notice?
Of course, they not only notice, they are short of words.
Okay.
Short of words and struggling with acceptance. They are regrets. Okay. And some are like, no, I don't believe it. Really? And
yeah, because they have a box for you, and the box is here.
Exactly.
And now you're over here, and they're going, what? Wow. Yeah.
And even not only external people, even internal people still struggle with seeing the transitions, the changes, and also the total transformation in my life. I don't understand. Some of them I don't understand. Some still come to me with the same vibration, for example, and still struggle to accept, and was like, no, and they still come up with the same behavior, like testing waters and see how long will this go. The difference before is I have too much of a tolerance.
Yes.
Before I say no, but now I press the button no right away.
There you go.
That's the difference, and I think you've seen me in actions in many times. And the reason for this is, and it's still a place of love, but it's just setting the boundaries to stay in my power, and I'm still grounded, but knowing my validation, my self-worth, loving myself hard enough to say, you know what, I will love you, and I still love you, but you need to make me on a high vibration way. But if you operate that way, I can change. I can help you. For example, in anything you need help, probably perjury and getting out wherever you are struggling with, but I won't be in that box that you want me to be, because I am not.
Okay.
Remember that you discussed something about your life, how you coping with depression in the past, and you're still coping with that, and you function very well.
Yes.
I see that as a place of both growth and strength. And for me, it was a situation that brought me to that dark space of depression, and also the loss of my father, and also my son's custody rights, and the bad relationships and being, and putting myself, love, never even put any that love and energy into me. And so, where I encourage workers, friends, clients, even my I mean, what I call my former employees, employer, as being like, wow, what a change. But it comes from a place of determination for me to say, no, what I don't want this life, because that's not who I am. Because when I say we're in a place of capability, we have that strength in us. We have that capability in us, but due to life experience and social expectations and the kind of relationship we have subdued and suppressed who we are, and get outside, living the expectations, oh, that's not us. And I think the experience of a dark night of the soul means that not a doctor could help me, nobody can help me. And now in my journey of helping others, in my role as a leadership coach, I meet clients who are also experienced, easy for me to identify. Are they in the spiritual journey? Are they in a life situation that comes from a place of a cause and effect? Are they coming from a place of irresponsibility and not being accountable for their own role as a person? It's easy for me to identify, to sort out. And then the question is, are you ready?
Yes.
Do you want to change?
Mm-hmm.
And to make a change, there is no quick fix. A place that healing and forgiveness has to come from is a inner work. The practical thing is, I work with myself hard enough. I make sacrifices. Are you ready to make those sacrifices? Even companies, organizations, sometimes they deform to develop. That's where the deployment comes. It's the same methodology that comes from, organizing and developing a company or dissolving a business area. And that same practical ways it happens in our life. We are ready to change. Why do you want to change? What is that change you want to, and what will it be for you? What will it take you? Being able to measure the reason why. I think I want to bring back this famous writer, Simon Sinek, is one of my mentor, I would say, motivation that brings me a lot more closer. And then there's a Washington. And it talks about be the change you want to see.
Yes.
Every change you want starts from you. And if you don't have that nurturing your heart, your soul, your heart space, and in your mental well-being, and to be able to have that emotional satisfaction about who you are,
you can't help other people.
Yes.
There you go. Yep.
You can't help other people from an empty cup. You can love. Today, I give love to people. Even those who offended me are shocked to even receive it. And the thing is, I think they are in a personal journey of their own to understand that I have moved on. And some are still beating down themselves from that. So I encourage my clients. The beauty about what I've been able to do when it comes to personal development and self-leadership, I hammer a lot on self-leadership. Self-leadership is much about self-empowerment, self-awareness, self-improvement. And personal development is about the growth, the transition between your self-development to your personal development. And then when we come into that personal development.
The journey that you're talking about from where you were to where you are now is on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is your perfect light being.
I am in a hit, I must say, because no one knocked my door. I don't see it coming. It doesn't. I mean, I think I've gone to a place of so much of gratitude that I exist. That alone brings me to, oh God, it can never be worst, right? It can be backward. And today, when I look into so many things I do, when I smile, when I just, I think, I don't know if we gotta sound a little bit nutty, but this is me.
You always do, Clementina. It's fine.
Yeah. I could just, for example, start playing music on my own, dancing, having fun. I think that's that moment, right?
That's for a next video, isn't it?
And that's just me being in a gratitude space, right? And I don't need, of course, we need people, but I mean, being happy to yourself, embrace the moments. And if somebody asks me, have you been drinking? No. When I sing, for example, sometimes, yeah, because sometimes I can go singing. Then we're like,
I remember
you've been drinking.
We did that karaoke, didn't we?
Yeah. What's, for example, and it's been no. Because what? There's so much joy and gratitude and contentment. Mm. But I will also say it is not an easy journey. It has not been, right? It is a process, and it has been a process for me to where I am today. And I'm still learning, because if you don't continue to learn, you don't grow.
Agreed. You need to sing a song now to say goodbye.
Oh dear Lord, don't
don't make me do it. Please don't make me sing. Goodbye.
No,
you need to
that will be for another day. But I would love to. If anyone wants to ask a question, should be able to ask a question. They are free to ask a question, and otherwise, we'd like to say, because I told this is 1 hour, but then I changed to 7 o'clock, 2 hours, just in case if there will be some questions popping up. Because
like it.
Is that?
Doesn't look like it. So
no, it doesn't look like. Someone wants to ask a question.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Hi.
I would like to say, first of all, I'm so grateful for being among you guys this evening. And I would like to tell Mark that I'm one of those that knew our coach when she was then. To knowing her now, I'm really amazed. I can't lie to you. I'm amazed. Sometimes I keep thinking about it, like, is she the one, or maybe it's a twin?
She wants to make me cry now.
Good.
Is that Maris?
I'm amazed, I really appreciate what you're doing, how you were helping people. I can tell you, she has helped me a lot. I used to be this person, like, I don't have that self-confidence, that low esteem. Like, I get scared, like, what will people say? What will people do? What will people think? I always get carried away of what people will say, what people will do. I don't focus on what I want, what I think. I'm always bothered of what people will say, what will people think. But knowing her and with her coaching has helped me a lot to first have my self-love, to remove that low self-esteem, to make me know that I worth a million. I'm the best, to make me feel I am the best. Because before, everyone makes you feel you are nothing, you are nobody. And when you get used to that, you feel it's true. But knowing her makes me to have a different opinion. I can tell you, she has helped me. She has helped my family. I was having issues with my family, and I can, like, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to God for making me to know her. in this her new self. I'm so grateful because it's hard in this time, like you meet people and someone like to make you to realize who you really are, to help you unconditionally. You know, there are less in this world right now. So I'm really, I would say she's a God sent. She's a God sent. She's everything in one. You know, I can't thank her enough. I will continue to thank God for bringing her into my life, into my family. You know, and may God continue to strengthen her to go more and to continue to help others, because it's not easy. Like when you have a change, some people just want to change for themselves. They don't care about others because they still feel that pain, like they get hurt and people didn't believe in them. But she still moved forward and still have that zeal, like, people still need my help. People still need help. You know, that alone, I give her kudos for that. A lot of kudos. I love kudos.
Clementina, I hope you're crying now.
And really, I agree with you when you say she needs to sing for us. True, she needs to sing for us. She's singing out back there, back behind the stage and all that. We would like to hear it someday.
And you shall. Next
oh
video.
My God, thank you so much.
I could not put on my video because my little baby is just here distracting me, so I don't want to disturb the meeting.
Thank you so much. Oh, that was not expected. I didn't know who it was then. I was happy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, it's my pleasure to help people. It's like I said,
I've never seen you this emotional.
Yeah, I kind of get into that. Oh my God. There's one person. Yeah, I unmute you. You can speak. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi Mark. Hi Clementina. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Well, thank
I've
you.
been paying serious attention to everything since, and I want to say a big thank you also to Tina as well for her job well done. She has really impacted me about what life is all about, and I'm so grateful to her mentorship and mentoring me as well. So I can say more because if I start talking now, she said she just has like she had this space for 1 hour till 2 hours. But if I start giving the testimony,
make her cry again.
If I start giving you the testimony, Mark, you will sleep well tonight because of what you have. We will leave that next meeting anyway. So I'll just say short thing now. First, big gratitude to her for your job well done. You've really impacted a lot of people's life out there. If you don't know, you should know it right now. Keep doing what you're doing, what you know best. And big kudos to you, Tina. Big kudos. I will leave the testimony for the next meeting, so we don't.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Before you can Tina, sorry. I would like to ask a question before you could go for that song for us, because you're really gonna for us today. Mark started it. So
sorry, have I started something, Clementina? I'm so sorry.
Oh dear Lord.
Clementina, I'm not sorry.
Tina, my question is this, yeah. How can one cut off an unhealthy relationship without you feeling guilty?
Yeah. Well, depends on the kind of relationship we're talking about, but in general, it is important to identify what that relationship means for you. And you have to look into measuring what that relationship has brought into your life, how it has impacted you to be your real self, your higher being. I used to tell people, if I'm in a relationship with you, like we're not talking about romantic relationship, even in romantic relationship, I'm not growing. I'm not moving forward. All we can talk about is the bad stuff and gossip and do the dirty. Then that's not a relationship you should hold on to. So the question is, how this is how I do it. It might be a little bit old-fashioned now, like my own bulldozer way. I was like, well, I really care about you. I really love you, but I love you from our unconditional space. I have to choose me. This is not moving us forward. This is, and the person might feel offended, but make them to understand that you need to work on your personal growth. And since you want to do this, this is not working. You can't be responsible for their own change. They see it from their own space. So how do you, to start with, so you don't create some kind of energy friction? Is this what kind of relationship is that? What does that relationship brings to you for your own well-being? It could be emotional, psychological. You need to evaluate that. After evaluating, being able to write down 10 things, for example, 10 things that is good about that person, 10 things that is not good about that person. Now, this is how you measure it. Another 10 things that you think you've been able to achieve in their life, being together, and 10 things you've been able to contribute for them too. If you can't see in any of that, the scale will tell you, and now look into where you want to go. Why is that relationship important for you? And where you want to go. And the next thing you could do, you can have a normal conversation in the beginning to say, hey, there are some things happening in my life today, and I just feel like I need to take a new approach of my life. In that discussion with the timing, do they understand you? Do you share the same value? Are you in the same? And that will determine your next statement. I really, really want to focus on myself. There's nothing wrong in saying you want to focus on yourself. Absolutely. And I want to invest in myself. And there are some things I want to go on a spiritual journey. I want to go on a growth journey. You don't need to tell them this is. And that the thing means that's it. But if it is energetically, if the person is emotionally connected with you, and that is when you have to work on this, what we call energy greed. And that's another day for that discussion. And if you want, I can have a personal separate section with you, and we can talk about energy greed. And most actually, in a general, for those who don't know what an energy greed is the people we connect with. The kind of energy, the interaction might be romantically, it might be, I can give you an example. I have a relationship that is from my soul journey, and I deal with that every day of my life. But when you share a light and bring unconditional love to that state, that was the beginning. I didn't know before, but now that I know, knowing that, okay, this is in my energy and this is something that is meant to be divine fated. I have to put the love of an unconditional, not codependent, but independently. We can go in and operate in our different ways, but we know we love each other, right? And that is if it's romantically, but if it has to do with family, well, welcome to my world. I've also with clients, I see that in clients' life about toxic family. Toxic relationship and toxic family exist everywhere we go. But now, you need to ask yourself, what are I bringing into my life? I can give you a scenario, an example. If you have a plant and you plant the seed, but the seed need to be watered, and you are not capable, you don't have enough to water the seed. Are these folks in your life ready to unconditionally water your seed to grow? That's something you should give into thought. Because you can say you want to change and you keep on doing the same thing. That's insanity. And you can say you want to break a pattern and you're still indulging yourself with the same energy, with the same people. That's insanity. You cannot say you want to change or you want change in your life, but you refuse to take responsibility. You refuse to be committed to that very thing you want to change in your life. That's another insanity. It's waste of time, it's waste of resources, and it's also waste of energy. Like I used to say to people, you can force the blind to see.
Yeah.
We see what we want to see. Even the blind person sees, because they are what? They are in line. They've come to a place of having gratitude. They function in another way. The willingness is there, the power there. But sometimes we fall out of this wagon of taking things for granted. We take each other for granted. So yes, the question you've asked, how do you cut off on an auto relationship? You start with yourself.
Yeah.
What is that relationship for me? Why do I need that relationship? What has that relationship contributed in my life? From a heart space, from a mental space, from a physical space. I used to talk about all this. Why do I never want to do anything when it doesn't bring a sense of purpose? A goal. When I ask people, you say, Clementina, can you join us this? Can you do this? What's the end goal? Because why? I've learned to know that my time is valuable. I'd rather sit in my house and play music and dance than for me to go and spend my time to things that only bring me unhealthy bands or cuts. But so you need to define that relationship, measure, and then you call a spade a spade. People can be friends from a distance. Just I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Absolutely. Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. +1 in the bank today. Thank you.
Is there any other question anyone want to ask?
At the moment, no. We'll leave it for the next meeting.
All right then. So Mark, is there any question you want to leave me with today?
Nope. I think I've put you on the spot enough today.
Oh dear Lord, don't say that. I told you we were gonna forget about this singing stuff thing.
I will never forget about the singing stuff. It will happen.
So what do you want me to sing?
Whatever you feel comfortable singing.
Oh dear.
Wasn't it Westlife or something this time? I had to sing Westlife.
Oh my God. So what will I?
I will think of a few titles and send them to you.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, whatever. You think about it.
Yeah.
You practice it. I'll get back to you. I've got all the karaoke machines.
Put him on the spot now, Mark. Put him on the spot. Oh my God. Now from doing Facebook Live for the first time and going through the whole technological thing, I bought a camera. I have to call it for a camera new. And now you put him on the spot to sing.
Do you want a certificate? I can send you a certificate. Not a problem.
Well, now that I saw a Spanish stuff, I think I can sing Marquitello.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I pronounce it very well. Nossa, Asido se mata. Hi, se tu pego. Hi, se tu pego. Delícia, Asido se mata. I say to pego. I say to pego.
So there you go. I don't actually know that song, but yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, not really. I just said about something that is much easier for me. Westlife is gonna get me into this a little bit, Oh dear.
You just changed immediately. As soon as you said Westlife, you started doing all this. It's like, right, okay. So we can do singing and dancing next time.
Oh dear. Yeah.
It's your next video, right? Say goodbye now. Come on.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for those who are listening outside the box here. I want to say thank you for listening, and please spread the words, share, and we come back with a new date of a new host. Maybe Mark will join us as well, because I think you have a powerful message there that I want everyone to see, especially when it comes to coping with depression, coping with, I the first time I decided to come out, I wanted to tell my story. I was the woman people and doctors say, no, you are not coming back. You will never walk again. You will not, or every dirty laundry and humiliations and whatever they could come up with. And today, I'm a fighter. I'm a go-getter. I still remember that I said, that's nowhere. I know who I am, and all I need is help to understand what was going inside me. And going through that journey, being left alone, abandoned, um, wherever there has been, today, I stand as a weakness. I stand as a proof that there is hope. Um, there is a second chance in life. Just finding the right person,
That's it.
or getting that connection within yourself, and you'll be aligned, you'll be fine. And today I bumped into you, and when you tell me in the beginning, I didn't even know that you walked through that journey and you function. We have a standardized system in Sweden. For example, we have the psychiatric, we have the medication system, and we have a society who quickly judge people as long when they come into the category of mental health. Mental health is very broad, and depression.
That's not just Sweden. That's everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
but talk about depression is it could be genetic. Well, to a certain degree in science, in neuroscience, well, could be, but I believe that we are capable to make a change, and we can live with our weaknesses and develop, improve our weaknesses. And some of the depression are due to situation that bring people in a depression state. Doesn't mean that is who they are. Some live with pain, some are trauma, but true love, which I have experienced. I have experienced true love that healed me. I didn't need any of that. I didn't need to be diagnosed. I didn't need to be medicated and being told that you're not going to get up, you're not going to have a second chance in life. And I'm grateful for all the learnings. So I want to put it out there that we can have that will and write it on top, move to the right directions only if you make that decision to get help. And help might not be that you need a psychiatric help. Help might be you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need someone that really, really loves you in your life. But that shouldn't be from a place of codependency.
No, I agree.
So thank you very much, and I will keep updates. Check. I'll put an update there, and we shall meet again. And I say happy weekend that is about to finish soon. But do do the best you can. There is still much to do today if you want, and just enjoy the moment. Stay in the moment, enjoy the moments. Right?
Clementina, thank you.
I love everyone out there. I'm open to an inbox message if you want to ask questions. Those who cannot ask questions out here, you can drop me a message on my messenger or send me an email. But my company information is on Facebook there. I will reply you as soon as I can. All right. Love you all, and thanks. Thanks for those beautiful souls who said things today.
Yeah,
who made me cry today. All right, then. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye for now. Bye-bye.